Have you started feeling unsteady lately? Like your legs hesitate before stepping down a curb? Or maybe you instinctively reach for the wall while walking through your own home? These aren't just quirks of aging, they're early warning signs. And what most seniors don't realize is balance doesn't suddenly vanish. It slowly slips away, often because of habits we overlook every day. Here's the truth. After 70, one fall can change everything. It can rob you of independence, mobility, and even your confidence to leave the house. But this doesn't have to be your story. In fact, you can avoid it entirely if you know what to watch for. Today, we're breaking down the 5 everyday habits that silently destroy balance in older adults. These aren't medical conditions or rare diseases. They're common, preventable mistakes that 99% of people over 70 are making and don't even realize. This video isn't just about avoiding falls. It's about reclaiming your freedom, your energy, your ability to move without fear. And if you stick with us to the end, you'll learn practical tips, inspiring stories, and senior health strategies that can transform the way you walk, move, and live every day. So if you care about longevity, staying independent, and truly living your later years with strength and grace, this is your moment. Quick favor before we dive in. If you find value in this, please like the video and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more people who need these messages of elderly wisdom, senior health, and life lessons from the elderly. Let's find out the first mistake you are likely to make. The first mistake is neglecting ankle and foot strength. Most seniors think that balance is all about strong legs or a steady brain, but science says something different. Balance begins at your foundation, your feet and ankles. These tiny joints do more than support your weight. They are your body's first responders to instability. Every time you adjust to a crack in the pavement or step sideways, it's your ankles that keep you from falling. But as we get older, we stop using them correctly. Years of walking on flat indoor surfaces and wearing cushioned shoes means our foot muscles become lazy, our ankle joints stiff. We rarely walk barefoot or on uneven terrain, which means our body forgets how to adapt. Muscles in our feet, which once responded quickly to changes in the ground beneath us, now hesitate. Tendons become tight. Ligaments lose elasticity. The result? A slow, silent weakening of the structures that once kept us upright without a second thought. Take Walter, age 77, for example. A retired carpenter, sharp-minded, but lately he noticed he was tripping more often. Not falling, just catching his toes or feeling sluggish when changing directions. When his therapist checked his ankle mobility, it was shockingly limited. His toes barely lifted. His arches were collapsed from years of inactivity. "It's like my feet are asleep," he admitted. After just 2 weeks of basic exercises, towel scrunches, calf raises, and foot circles, he started moving differently. "I didn't realize how disconnected I was from the ground," he said. "Now I feel like my feet are awake." You can do the same. Test yourself right now. Can you stand on tiptoe without wobbling, or lift one leg and stay balanced for 10 seconds? If not, this isn't weakness, it's a warning. And it's reversible. Start with daily habits that bring your feet back to life. Walk barefoot on soft, varied textures like grass, carpet, or textured mats to reactivate forgotten muscles and retrain your brain to trust your steps. Stretch your calves and Achilles daily. Tightness in these areas can restrict ankle movement and delay reactions. Use a tennis ball to roll under your feet every evening to break up tension and improve circulation. Practice slow-heeled. Strong feet don't just prevent falls. They improve posture by aligning your hips and spine, reduce back pain by distributing weight evenly, and help you move with confidence again. Seniors often say, "I didn't know how much I was missing until I got it back." That awareness, that return to a grounded sense of presence, can reignite your independence. When you walk with sure footing, you walk without fear, and don't underestimate the emotional impact. Walter didn't just regain function, he regained confidence. "Now I walk to the store again. I stopped doing that a year ago," he told us with a smile. That's what matters. It's not about performance. It's about possibility. The choice to move freely without second-guessing every step. The second mistake is skipping balance practice entirely. Balance is like any skill. If you stop using it, you lose it. Unfortunately, many seniors become too careful. You walk slower, you stop turning quickly, you avoid uneven ground, stairs, or anything that might feel risky. And while this might seem smart in the short term, it slowly trains your body to give up its ability to adapt. This is what we call the protective trap. In trying to prevent danger, you silently invite decline. Here's what really happens. The inner ear, nerves, brain, and muscles stop talking to each other. Reflexes fade. Coordination drops. Your brain receives fewer signals from underworked nerves. Confidence disappears. Suddenly, you're not just avoiding stairs, you're afraid to move. The danger isn't just physical, it's psychological. The less we trust our bodies, the less we use them. And the less we use them, the less capable they become. Helen, 74, put it best: "I thought I was protecting myself, but I was slowly teaching my body to forget how to balance." When we tested Helen with simple drills, standing with her feet together, walking heel to toe in a straight line, she was stunned. "I didn't know I had lost that until I tried." Her eyes welled up, not from sadness but from realization. This wasn't aging, this was neglect. The good news? It's never too late to rebuild. The fix is not extreme. You don't need to join a gym or walk tightropes. Just challenge your balance a little bit every day. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. Try slow Tai Chi movements to increase body awareness. Practice walking heel to toe across your hallway, arms outstretched for stability. Or close your eyes for 10 seconds while standing still. Feel your body respond. These exercises wake up your nervous system. They rekindle the conversation between your feet, muscles, and brain. They rewire your reflexes. And most importantly, they build confidence. Because here's the truth: seniors with strong balance move differently. They walk through crowds without hesitation. They reach for top shelves without second-guessing their footing. They laugh when the sidewalk surprises them because they know they can recover. They move like they trust their body, and that's powerful. Balance isn't just about staying upright. It's about freedom. And freedom comes from familiarity. The more you ask your body to stabilize, the more it remembers how. This is the muscle memory of movement, and it starts with one small daily balance habit. Before we dive into the next section, take a moment to reflect on what you've just learned. Because what comes next may be even more surprising. Many seniors unknowingly create the perfect conditions for imbalance right in their own homes. These aren't just physical mistakes. They affect your confidence, your daily routine, and even how others see your independence. So stay with us, because in the next part, we're uncovering 2 more hidden habits that quietly chip away at your stability, and what you can do today to reclaim control. The third mistake that almost everyone makes is wearing improper or unsafe footwear indoors. When we walk barefoot on tile or hardwood, or slip into loose, worn-out sleepers each morning, we might not notice how much risk we're inviting into our daily routine. Proper footwear doesn't just increase fall risk, it limits our confidence. It changes how we move. Many seniors start shuffling instead of stepping, shortening their stride and avoiding quick turns. But here's the subtle danger. This new way of walking isn't safer. It's a reaction to feeling unstable, and it leads to weakened muscles, slower reactions, and even more falls. In fact, research from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults wearing slippers, socks, or going barefoot indoors had a more than doubled risk of falling compared to those wearing secure, well-fitting shoes. The danger is silent, and it's everywhere in the home. The slippery rug in the bathroom, the polished wooden stairs, the unexpected splash of water near the kitchen sink. Let's go back to Ernest. After his scare in the kitchen, he began to realize how often he had near misses. Moments he brushed off because nothing happened. He admitted they had Velcro straps for a snug fit, solid tread for traction, and enough arch support to reduce his knee pain. "Now I start my day standing tall instead of shuffling to the bathroom," he said. That change, it shifted how he saw himself. From someone who needed to be cautious to someone who was in control. When evaluating your home footwear, ask yourself, does it fit snugly without being too tight? Is the sole flat and firm, not overly cushioned or spongy? Can you flex the shoe slightly with your hands, but not fold it completely in half? Does it offer adequate tread to grip smooth surfaces and prevent slipping? And finally, does it have a proper back to secure your heel, rather than being open or loose-fitting like many slips? Also consider grip socks with silicone treads for nighttime use, but only if they fit securely and provide real traction. Better yet, install nightlights in common walkways and keep your sleepers within arm's reach of your bed. Supportive shoes are like silent guardians. They don't just protect you physically, they help rewire how your brain interacts with the world underfoot. When your foundation feels secure, your steps follow suit. Confidence, in many ways, starts at the ground level. The next mistake is relying too much on walls, furniture, and fixed objects to move. If you've ever walked down a hallway with your hand trailing the wall, or steadied yourself using a chair as you moved from room to room, you're not alone. Many older adults fall into the habit of using furniture or countertops for support, not because they want to, but because it feels safer. Unfortunately, this behavior slowly teaches your body to forget how to balance on its own. It's called false safety. Every time you rely on a wall or countertop to walk, your brain registers that as a dependency. Over time, your muscles, especially the small stabilizers in your hips, core, and ankles, atrophy. Your nervous system no longer gets the same practice adjusting to movement and weight shifts. And worst of all, you start to believe you need to hold on. This psychological loop can be just as limiting as any physical problem. Consider Betty, 76, who began using her kitchen counters to navigate after a minor fall in her garage. "It was just for a few days while I regained my confidence," she explained. But a few days became a few months. Eventually, she avoided going outside altogether. Her grandson finally convinced her to work with a balance therapist. Together, they created a daily habit, standing unsupported for 30 seconds, then walking across a room without touching anything. At first, she shook with anxiety, but by week 3, she was walking unsupported with ease. The solution isn't about removing all support, but rather gradually retraining your body to move independently. You can begin by practicing upright posture, shoulders back, head high, and eyes forward. This instantly engages your stabilizer muscles. Then build a simple furniture-free path in your home, a hallway or room where you can walk safely without relying on walls or counters. Walk back and forth daily, increasing your steps. Let go of the wall, and you might be surprised how quickly your body remembers how to move. Your muscles awaken, your core activates, and most importantly, your confidence returns. Coming up in the next part is the final habit that affects nearly every senior, but is often ignored until it's too late. It's not about muscles. It's not about shoes. It's something far more hidden and far more critical to your daily balance than you might think. Stay with us, and please click the like button and subscribe button if you have come this far, so we know that you are interested in your own health. The last mistake is overlooking vision and inner ear health. Most seniors assume their balance issues are caused solely by muscle weakness or joint problems. But in reality, one of the most critical contributors to your balance is something you rarely think about: your senses. Specifically, your vision and inner ear. Vestibular system. These two systems constantly send information to your brain about where your body is in space. When they become impaired, often due to aging, your brain receives inaccurate or delayed signals, and your balance suffers quietly but seriously. Imagine walking through a dim hallway. Your eyes can't clearly define where the steps end and the floor begins, or turning your head too quickly and suddenly feeling like the room is spinning. These are not just uncomfortable moments. They are warning signs. Let's take the example of Howard, 81, a former tennis coach who prided himself on his quick reactions and stable footing. Over the past year, he began to notice slight stumbles, especially in dim environments like movie theaters or evening walks. He chalked it up to just getting older. But a routine checkup revealed early-stage cataracts and undiagnosed benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, a common vestibular disorder in seniors. After receiving updated eyeglasses, beginning vestibular rehabilitation, and using nighttime lighting at home, Howard's stability dramatically improved. "It's like I got back a part of me I didn't even know I'd lost," he said. His story is not unique. Countless older adults are living with mild visual impairments or subtle vestibular dysfunctions without knowing that these conditions are quietly compromising their safety. It's critical to understand that age vision changes, like reduced contrast sensitivity, depth perception, slower adjustment to lighting, and even mild double vision, are not just visual annoyances. They interfere with your ability to assess your surroundings, causing hesitation and instability. Even seemingly unrelated issues, like glare from windows or light reflections off tile floors, can distort your perception. Similarly, the vestibular system in your inner ear, which senses motion and orientation, naturally declines with age. The tiny hair cells inside the semicircular canals that detect movement lose function over time. This leads to slower balance corrections, increased dizziness, and a general sense of disorientation, especially when you change directions, get up from bed, or bend down. But here's the hopeful truth. This decline doesn't mean defeat. Vision and vestibular issues are manageable, often treatable, and frequently improved with the right interventions. Here's what you can do starting today. Schedule comprehensive eye exams every year. Not just standard prescription checks, but exams that evaluate contrast sensitivity, peripheral vision, depth perception, and cataract development. If you notice shadows moving when you walk, blurred edges on steps, or increased sensitivity to light, don't ignore them. Likewise, schedule hearing and balance assessments with an audiologist or ENT specialist, particularly if you experience dizziness, a sensation of floating when walking, vertigo after head movement, or trouble navigating dark or crowded spaces. These symptoms are classic signs of vestibular dysfunction, and many respond well to vestibular therapy exercises, which help retrain the brain to compensate and rebalance itself. In your home, small changes make a big difference. Use warm, consistent lighting in hallways and bathrooms. Install motion sensor night lights to guide your path at night. Place contrasting tape on the edge of steps to highlight depth. Remove or minimize reflective flooring that creates optical confusion. Even wearing yellow-tinted lenses in low-light settings can boost contrast and improve spatial perception. Howard now goes for early morning walks again, with confidence and calm. It wasn't about learning to walk again, he told us. It was about learning to see and feel again. That's the lesson. Balance isn't just in the legs. It's a full body, full sense experience. Your brain is constantly pulling together data from your vision, ears, muscles, and skin to make micro-judgments thousands of times each day. The clearer the information, the better your balance response. We often say, keep an eye on your steps, but few realize how literally true that is. When your eyes and inner ears send clear, coordinated signals to your brain, your body can make lightning-fast corrections that keep you upright, even on uneven ground. Ignore those systems and you're walking into the world with one eye closed and your ears off balance. So ask yourself, when was the last time you had your eyes and ears professionally checked? Not just for hearing or sight, but for how they affect your movement. It could be the most important appointment you make this year. Restoring these sensory pathways doesn't just prevent falls. It brings back the confidence to move freely, explore again, and live without hesitation. Don't wait for a stumble to remind you, see clearly, move boldly, and trust your body again. Thank you for staying with us through this journey. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered together. 5 seemingly simple habits that, left unchecked, can gradually steal away your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to move safely through life after 70. But here's the most important truth. Change is possible, whether it's waking up your feet again, retraining your balance reflexes, switching out dangerous slippers, walking confidently without walls, or seeing clearly with your eyes and ears. Each step you take is a step toward independence and vitality. We hope this video has given you not just knowledge, but the motivation to act. If you found this helpful, please click like and subscribe. It really helps us continue sharing stories of elderly wisdom, senior health, and life lessons from the elderly. And we love to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments. You never know who might be inspired by your presence and your journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and stay connected. Small changes today lead to powerful, lasting transformation tomorrow.